Hey gang, PK52, product knowledge 52 weeks, some kind of product knowledge every week. The Saturday morning meeting, standing by a rolling chassis. Oh, we don't get a chance to look at a Tundra like this very often. So the first thing we're going to talk about right now is the I-Force engine. I-Force engine, that means small I. That means this engine can think. One of the coolest things about our engine is it produces 401 foot-pounds of torque. That means torque when you want it right now. Other manufacturers are trying to trick the torque, trick the power. You got Ford F-150 with the EcoBoost trying to add a turbocharger to add extra airflow into the engine to give you more power than the engine should actually produce. The problem with EcoBoost is it's not right. It's not EcoBoost. When you boost, there is no eco. If you add air to the top of an engine, you have to add more fuel, so it should be called Boost No Eco. But I guess maybe that'd be too cumbersome for Ford. We got other manufacturers like Chevrolet and Dodge shutting half the cylinders down. It seems to me like if you're buying a full-size truck, you're going to use a full-size truck, a V8, why would you want it ever to be a four-cylinder? So I don't think that something that's going to weigh in excess of 5,000 pounds is going to run on four cylinders very often. But you do the math. We've got an I-Force engine. I-Force means it can think. What does this engine think about? The first thing it thinks about is load. If you add a trailer, if you add passengers, or if you add cargo to the bed of the truck, you have to add more acceleration to create the same dynamic of speed. By going deeper to the throttle and a lower wheel speed, the computer goes, oh, there's a load, and the engine lifts and breathes bigger and creates more torque and more horsepower. It does that on its own. Also RPM. On a four-wheel drive truck, when you slammed it in low-range four-wheel drive and you busted above 4,000 RPMs, the engine goes, I see we're off-roading. It breathes at a bigger level. Also passing. It has a relationship from the throttle to the computer. So when you hammer the throttle, bam, the engine lifts and you get all the power you need. Instead of shutting half the engine down, instead of pumping a bunch of extra air in the engine, what about an engine that can think about what you're doing when you're driving a truck? The Tundra, the baddest, the biggest, the fastest truck that money can buy. Get your customers behind the wheel and it'll be over. This has been PK52 on a rolling chassis. It's the Saturday morning meeting.